6:43. Good morning, Spencer.
Good morning.
We got all sorts of great guests here today on the old Daybreak Show, and two more on the way now. Alex Paysse from the Mason County, he's the Environmental Health Manager, and Erica Marbet from the Squaxin Island Tribe. Good morning. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Doing good.
Thanks for coming in. We're talking a little bit about the water quality of streams in the county. This report has been put out for 16 through 18 fecal coliform bacteria for streams in Mason County in the South Puget Sound watershed, put together by Erica for the tribe, as well as field data collection by Joe Pune and GIS by Brian McTeague. It goes out for Mason County and people around who are interested in learning a little bit more about this. Was this, so before 16, was that the last time we had you on? You were on previous to talk a little bit
Probably. I'm sure it's before 2016, yeah.
A couple years now. So this is samples taken monthly around the different streams in the areas around the South Sound and Mason County in particular, kind of determining how the water quality is. And that can come from a variety of different ways, including from stormwater runoff and things like that, as well as animals and animal waste and farmlands and things like this. So through the tribe, you go through and check out all the streams. Overall, how do the streams in our area, how do they look, and what's the overall quality?
Okay. I'm really excited to be here to just give you an update on what we do together, the county and the tribe, and sampling water quality. And our streams look pretty good for water quality.
Good.
And I think that we wanted to share that with you, that the stream water quality is good in the county. And so for things like people swimming in Goldsboro Creek, which we love to do in the summer, or picking shellfish off the beach, or going swimming in Oakland Bay, Hammersley Inlet, that is something we assume will always be something we can do in Mason County, and we want to keep it that way by sampling and making sure we check. And yes, the stream water quality is good.
Well, there are some of the main tributaries that you go through in this report here, and you give letter grades to a few of them, and they all seem, for the most part, pretty good with A's and B's. There are a couple other ones that, through the reading I did, seem to be kind of butted against farmlands and things like that. So when it comes to the quality of the water, is it mainly these days, Alex, maybe you know this a little better, come from septic systems and runoff into the streams, or is it other issues like farmland and things like that?
Well, septic systems is definitely a big part of it, but there's lots of different, we call them non-point sources out there. Agricultural could be one, stormwater is another, pet waste. So there's other options that could be the source of these pollutions.
Also, in population centers, it's things like more pet waste, like lots of pet waste, and just garbage. So when people throw garbage on the ground, it collects bacteria. Even parking lots have bacteria. So Shelton Creek has a higher bacterial count just because of the concentration of people and garbage in the city.
Wow.
Yeah. So
when it comes to drains that you see on the sides of the streets, when the rains happen or the water runoff and it goes into those drains, do those go into the treatment plants, or do those run right into the waterways?
It depends on where you're at. I know the city of Shelton, they have a stormwater system that doesn't just discharge directly, but there are other areas of our county that are very rural, and their stormwater, doesn't have much treatment or any treatment before being dispersed into our, lower watersheds.
Wow. And are those as well factors into how the quality at the end, when people are out on the flats looking for shellfish and things like that, those are big impacts on those?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like people dog walking in neighborhoods near shorelines, definitely ditch lines run to the beach or to streams that flow to the beach. So picking up pet waste is a really important thing to do. And some drains in the city of Shelton do connect to creeks. Mm-hmm. So really important. And sometimes just like parking lots connect to Shelton Creek. Yeah, so it's important to keep your garbage up.
When we hear about pets and sometimes people getting sick from like stuff like algae and stuff, is that more like in lakes and in streams, or is there a danger if the water is not as good a shape as it is now for animals to be in danger and stuff, drinking out of streams and things, or is that not a big concern?
I'll look to Alex. I don't know a lot about pet safety and water.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, fecal coliform and these bacteria and viruses, I mean, they can affect any warm-blooded animal, you know, that has an intestine, and yeah, it definitely can.
How'd you do this testing on this? You pick a creek, you know, like one a month or whatever, and you kind of go up and down it and do different tests, or how does that work? You have to talk to landowners, get on the property and ask them for help too, or?
Sometimes we do if we're investigating, and again, that goes back to Alex. But what the tribe does is they've chosen, I don't know, I can't remember if it was about 12 creeks, maybe 12 to 18 depending, but every month our technician Joe goes out and grabs a clear water bottle sample from the same location from a public right-of-way. Every month, every year, you know, 12 months out of the year for years and years and years and years, in order to know, you know, the immediate quality of the water and then track that water quality over time, because we know when we have concerted efforts to clean up water, and we can look at the trends in water quality over years to see how that affects water quality.
I know we've talked with water quality and public health and environmental health over the years, and there's really been a push on making sure your septic systems are up to date, they're not cracked, they're not leaking, and things like that. And so I would imagine that when you do these long-standing year after year tests, like you were saying, when there's the concerted efforts and the kind of education behind that, the numbers, you know, start to go down on those things.
Yeah, anytime we get into an area of water quality issues and we do a lot of work, you know, our septic systems, they get better maintenance, they get more attention, and you know, we improve water quality through those projects. And it's not having that routine program of being in these areas and follow-up sampling and being able to follow up on issues in areas that are still in good water quality that sometimes makes things difficult to keep that water quality in good standing.
Yeah. Lots of rural parts of our county. And, you know, it's not just Shelton or Belfair or things like that, or just up and down Highway 3. When it comes to these rural conversations, people understand their impacts if they're even kind of up at, I don't know, Lake Cushman or higher elevations, that their impact in their spot could have further impact downstream all the way to the end result of the water?
It could be. So I feel like, you know, Cushman, human activities around Cushman affect Cushman or the Skokomish River more. But I was just going to point out that, for example, Church Point, which is on Hammersley, we had some high bacterial counts in streams, Department of Health sampled. So we made a concerted effort with Mason County to talk to the neighbors, have meetings. The county checked septic systems. They sampled the streams. We made a big effort. And through that effort, we were able to reopen a closed shellfish beach, which is important. It was the elder shellfish beach for the tribe, as well as any neighbors who live and harvest shellfish there. So that's a good example of when the county and the tribe are on the case and the neighbors are aware, we can bring the bacterial counts down and reopen beaches that get closed.
What happens, let's say it's good that the streams are in good shape here, but let's say you find one that isn't. What's the immediate response? Like, what happens? What does that look like to treat a stream, or what is done by teams to make sure it gets better? Is it just a matter of finding like the source of the possible contamination and minimize that, or how is it actually treated?
It kind of depends on who's doing the sampling, which entity and group. For example, if Department of Health was doing some shoreline monitoring, they have certain criteria. They can't just go off of one, high hit. They go off of, a set of high hits,
Sure.
okay, and an average within that. And when they find that a certain threshold has been hit, then that's when they close down these areas or downgrade them at least. And that's when the county is then looked at to recognize that downgrade and go in there and do some work. And that's when we, reach out to partners like Erica, WSU Extension, many stakeholders that kind of collaborate and work together on improving these water qualities.
I mean, this is a huge issue, especially considering how impactful the shellfish industry is to Mason County and the economy here, as well as recreation and people getting out there and just enjoying the waterways we have so many of in Mason County. So that's good to know that things are looking good and continuing to improve. Again, this all comes from that 2016-2018 fecal coliform bacteria for streams in Mason County in the South Puget Sound watershed. Folks can find this if they are interested in reading it where?
You know what? I'm going to put it on the tribe's Facebook Natural Resources blog. Thank you. Or anybody can contact me at the Squaxin Island Tribe. You can call the main office and talk to Erica Marbet or Alex Paysse at Mason County. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, good to talk with you guys. Thanks for the update on this, and keep doing that good work so we can make sure those streams and rivers and everything stays open for folks to enjoy the summertime. You want people to be out having a good time.
Exactly.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
You bet.
It's 7:53 at I-501. Take a break.